Hello everyone, welcome to this short session on JFET biasing. Today's topic are biasing the JFET for zero temperature drift, and then the next one will be biasing the JFET against device parameter variation. So let us start with why we require JFET biasing, DC biasing. So particularly in the JFET, the current ID changes with temperature as well as device parameter variation. Now what are the device parameters? We have IDSS and VP. Hence, the Q point might change. Now, in order to obtain a stable Q point, JFET is biased for zero temperature drift as well as the device parameter variation. Now, the Q point is selected in the middle of the transfer curve or in the middle of the DC load line in the output characteristics. The purpose of this DC biasing is to select the desired voltage, DC voltages, VGS and VDS, to establish a desired level of ID, that is the drain current. Now, why this is required? Because Q point should be stable such that the JFET remains in the desired region of operation for it to work as an amplifier. And that region of operation is the saturation region. Now, let us look into details for biasing the JFET for zero temperature drift. So this is a plot of a variation of drain current with temperature. The red color plot, it's for temperature T1, and the green one is for temperature measured at temperature T2. And here T2 is greater than T1. So as you can see, for higher temperatures, the current is slightly lowered and the VGS is increased in the negative direction. So these are the two conditions. And also they should intersect at one point, which is the Q point, which is marked as IDQ, VGSQ. Now let us see what are the conditions for the zero temperature drift. So there are two reasons for which the drain current change with temperature. So these reasons are, the first one is, as the temperature increases, the vibration of ions in the channel increases. Now these vibrations will oppose the motion of electrons from drain to source. Hence the drain current decreases by, it's a fact, drain current decreases by 0.7% per degree Celsius. Now, also the second reason is, as the temperature increases, the width of the depletion region in the channel decreases. Hence, the drain current increases. Okay, if the width will decrease, the drain current increases. It is found that the increase in the drain current is equivalent to change of 2.2 millivolt per degree Celsius change in VGS. Now, for zero temperature drift biasing, the decrease in the current ID with temperature should be equal to the increase in current ID in drain current ID with temperature. So decrease in ID with temperature is equal to increase in ID with temperature. So delta ID, it's equal to GM into VGS. Now we know that GM is nothing but your variations in the current divided by variations in the gate to source voltage. So basically these two means the same. Now there will be a decrease in the current. So that is given by 0.7%. So that is given by 0.007 times mod of ID. And here the change in the VGS is 2.2 millivolt. So it is 0.0022 into GM. So here we cross multiply, we get delta ID upon GM is 0.314. And we substitute the formula for ID and GM. So the ID formula is IDSS into 1 minus VGS upon VP the whole square. And the GM formula is GMO into 1 minus VGS upon VP. That will be equal to 0.314. So here 1 minus VGS upon VP cancels out. And the GMO can be written as twice IDSS upon mod of VP, which can be written as twice IDSS upon minus VP. So over here, the IDSS also cancels out, VP also cancels out, and we are left out with VP minus VGS is equal to minus of twice 0.314. That is equal to 0.628. So hence we can write at the final step, this is the condition for zero temperature drift, that is mod of VP minus mod of VGS should be approximately equal to 0.63. So this is the condition for biasing the JFET for zero temperature drift. Now, self-biasing circuit is used for zero temperature drift biasing techniques. Now, let us check out the biasing the JFET against the device parameter variations. So in a typical data sheet of JFET, the parameters are given as VP and IDSS. There are three ranges given over there: minimum, typical, and maximum. The red color is the maximum range. the green one is the typical range, and the blue one is the minimum range. Now, if we plot a DC load line like this, so your Q points should be over here, which is VGSQ and IDQ. And let's say if there are, no two JFETs have the same parameter values, that is IDSS and VP might be different for every JFET if you consider. But let's say that Q point is over here, right? Typical value, VGSQ and IDQ. And let's say we have two more Q points. So the current between the current ID1 and ID2, your Q point should be located so that you are in the safe range. Okay. So this is the plot of device variations in the JFET. Now let us look into details. So the device parameter IDSS and VP change by a large amount over operating voltage range. So here it is, its values might be given in the, they are given in the data sheet. So in order to bias the JFET against the device parameter variation, ID is allowed to vary between the two limits, ID1 and ID2. So IDQ should be between ID1 and ID2 as it is shown over here. Okay, if it is biased, if the Q point is in between the ID1 and ID2, that means it is protected against the device parameter variations. So the load line passing through the operating point between ID1 and ID2. Okay, so here is the load line, and this typical load line is observed in the voltage divider bias. So voltage divider bias is used for biasing against the device parameter variations. Okay, so we have seen why we require biasing in JFET. What is the need of JFET biasing? And we have seen the biasing the JFET for zero temperature drift. And also we have seen the condition, that is mod of VP minus mod of VGS will be should be equal to 0.63. And next we saw the variations, biasing the JFET against the device parameter variations. Okay, so the Q point should be located within this range, within ID1 and in between ID1 and ID2. Then we can say that your JFET is protected against the device parameter variation. So I think that is all for this short session. Next time we will start with JFET DC biasing numericals. So until then, have a good day and thank you.